Okay, it's just 11:58. I'm so excited to go live today with the Midday Movement series. Today we're going to be doing Free the Hips, but I'm going to give it a little bit of time before we start so that everybody can get actively in place. You don't really need to have any equipment, maybe a mat. That's about it. So looking forward to having everybody here. So free your hips. What a nice topic for Wednesday, right? Yeah. Oh, look at that. Sean is here and Laura is here. Stacy, excellent. Nice. Oh, real Pilates. Oh, yay! This is great. This is the one way I love that we can all get together and kind of move together, right? So it's really nice. So we're going to be doing hip openers, standing and on the mat. So you'll just need to be able to go onto the mat at some point. And yeah, we have another minute left to go. Hi, you guys. I'm so excited. It's great. So I know this is my first time on Instagram Live. I'm behind the times, I suppose. Excellent. Oh, Chester's on. Tracy's on. Tracy, I owe you an email, I think. All right, excellent. So we have 30 seconds left. And like I said, you're not going to need anything, and it's only going to be 15 minutes. It's the perfect way to go through your midday and to get yourself moving and energized. So I think you can probably see me okay back here. I am going to show you an exercise using the Viper, but it can be done without any equipment at all. But I wanted to show you sort of how to make it more intensive by adding things like a Viper, which is a loaded device. Pretty awesome. Okay. 12 o'clock. All right, so welcome everyone, and we're going to be going through some hip mobilizers. So I want you to think about your hip joint. In fact, we can place your hand right there and sort of get your hands into that hip joint. So everything happening right here is what's going to be going down in the next 15 minutes. Okay, so we're going to start off with a classic exercise from Zenga, which a lot of you know the Zenga program, which is a hip opener called the circle step. So I want you to stand on your right leg and just turn your left leg in and then out. So you're doing this circle or a half circle around your leg bone. Okay, so your pelvis is literally spinning like a doorknob around your fixed leg. Okay, so continue with that. And while you continue with that, we're going to be doing that for about a minute long on each side. Okay, so keep doing that. I'm going to show you how you might add the Viper to that. So as I bring my leg forward, I bring the Viper in a circular pattern. So this is just adding load to that, which is going to help to strengthen some of those continuities in the body, those fascial continuities, but it's also just going to load the tissue a little bit differently. So continue with this for a little bit longer. Okay, so that circle step, and remember, you don't have to have a prop. You can use many different props too. You can put a flex band around this. You can do a lot of different things, but that right now is just getting that hip to mobilize. Okay, so now place that. I'm going to place that down and we'll go to the other side. So get all your weight on your left leg and then start to rotate around it. So visualize the pelvis spinning around the fixed femur bone, the leg bone. Hands can be here. A lot of people joining in. Thanks, you guys. So just spinning those hips, right? We're spinning in the middle of the day. Great opportunity to get some blood flow going. Okay, so we're staying on this for about a minute. We usually take about a minute on each side to really get that hydration factor up in the hip joint. Okay, and when you get to the front next time, stay there. Can you sense right here what's happening at the foot all the way down to your foot? Do it again and just think about that. What's happening to your foot? It's literally moving slightly to manage the load that's above it, right, which is the whole body. And that's a really powerful thing for supination and pronation, or if you think of inversion and eversion, right? So your foot's going through this pattern. So this is not just happening at the hip joint, it's happening all the way down into your foot. Okay, so we've got 5 more seconds left here, and then we're gonna go to our next exercise. All right, last one. Before we jump into the next exercise, just notice how you're feeling right now. In fact, let's actually put our hands on our hips and just go back and forth in a little hip swing here. So working in that frontal plane, just back and forth, getting that hip swing. This is another way to mobilize the joints and to really sort of get some fluid motion in the hips. And now just take your leg bones and internally rotate them and do the same thing. Keep those knees nice and soft so there's no torque in the knee, and you're just swinging the hips in this frontal plane back and forth. I should have put a little music on for this. Okay, now that's our internal rotation while we're swinging the hips. Now we take both of our feet and turn them to the right, and now notice what happens here as you do that same swing-like pattern from side to side. You may be feeling a little bit more lateral stuff happening on this left side. Continue with that, and then take both of your feet and go the other way, right up to the hip joint, and then go side to side again. So again, just getting that motion through the pelvis. All right, nice and easy, swinging back and forth. We'll do a couple more like that. Do you feel the stretch here as you push outward on that right side? Now take both legs and externally rotate them, soften the knees, and then just swing side to side. You could add the arms, right? You don't have to, but you could. You could make it a little bit more fun. So nothing says that we can't mobilize the shoulders at the same time in a little bit of rib cage action. Stay here for 4 more counts, 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now come back to center. How does that feel? Pretty good, right? Okay, taking this now from some physical therapy exercise that I learned called the egg beaters. We're gonna stand on the right leg, but I want you to start off with just this simple motion at the hip joint. Turn the leg bone in and out. Turn it in and out. This is nothing new to a lot of you that are in the fitness world, okay, that internal and external rotation. But I'm gonna show you how we start at the hip joint, and then we're gonna increase upon all the other connections, which is gonna be down through that lower kinetic chain into the knee and the ankle joint. So we start off with just this simple internal, external rotation that anyone could do. Okay, now you might need to hold on to something, but I want you to soften this knee over here. Lift up this leg and flex at the hip here. Now you're gonna internally rotate and reach down, extending the knee and plantar flexing the foot. And then externally rotate, flex, dorsiflex and come up. Internally rotate, externally rotate. So notice the hip, knee to ankle component going on here. Yes, there's a lot of balance work, but you could be holding on to something. So if you don't have the ability to balance on one leg, it doesn't mean you can't do the exercise. You just have to hold on to something. Inhaling and exhaling. Now we'll do one more like that, and then we're gonna reverse it. Now when you go down, you're gonna dorsiflex, and you turn in, you're gonna plantar flex to come up. So dorsiflex to go down and extend, plantar flex to come up. And continue with that motion around. Okay, notice what's happening here. You're probably getting a little fatigued, definitely work, right? Even though it's not loaded, we're not loaded with anything but gravity, and then just to release that down. Whew. You wanna go back to swinging the hips, don't you? I know, me too. All right, then get all the weight on the opposite leg and start with just this simple turn in, turn out. Sort of think of this as just level 1 or just a simple one joint action, okay, that we're really focusing on this hip joint, not necessarily getting the knee and the ankle involved just yet, okay? Internal and external, keep your breathing. Excellent, go in and out, in and out. A couple more like that, in and out. Now going into that full motion. Grab onto something if you need to. Lift your leg up, and now what's gonna happen is you're gonna externally rotate, go down, plantar flexing through the ankle, dorsiflex as you come up. Inhale and exhale. So you can think of that external rotation, that knee extension and plantar flexion at the ankle. So this is a triple joint exercise, right? Feeling that reach. Also working for the balance here on this side, creating that nice tensional quality through the lateral line of the body. Inhaling and exhaling, beautiful. Okay, you're getting a little tired in there. You wanna reverse this. Now we're gonna come up and reverse it. We're gonna dorsiflex as we go down and plantar flex as we come up. Dorsiflex as we go down, plantar flex as we come up. Changing that motion. Beautiful, and up. Working through the range. Maybe you're noticing there's a coordination factor here, right? It might be easier going in one direction than the other. Let's do 2 more of those, okay? And last time. Beautiful, okay. All right, stand off just for a moment, swing your hips out, and just notice how you're feeling. Take a walk, right? Take a little bit of a walk, go forward and back. Does it feel different? Yeah, you probably feel a little bit more alive in there, and also tons of blood flow, but also a little bit more toned, right? We're gonna go down to the mat now. So I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna grab my mat. I'm gonna start with the kneeling exercise, okay? So, I think that's good right there. All right, so the kneeling exercise, you take one leg and bring it forward. I'll take my left leg and bring it forward. And this kneeling exercise, we're starting off with a little bit of a side bend here. So it's gonna really affect the lateral line. And add just that side bend, okay? This feels like your stretch. Everybody agrees with that. And then bring your arm down. You know that stretch pretty well. Inhale, exhale. Now notice what can happen if you start to add a sway in that frontal plane. So inhale, lift up, and now sway and come back and forth. Sway, okay? So getting that motion, again, in that frontal plane with that arm, that longer lever overhead, you can sense what's happening through that whole lateral side of the body. We'll stay here for another set of 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Now, stay on that side. Just bring yourself into a bigger lunge position here. Okay, I want you to just lunge back and forth. Watch the integrity of what's happening here in your front knee to ankle, but go ahead and just lunge back and forth. Just noticing what's happening here at the hip joint. Okay, and then add a little flexion there. So we're gonna extend and flex, going back and forth. Simple stuff, right? It doesn't take much. Working right now in that sagittal plane, right, that front plane back and forth. A couple more like that. And now I'm gonna challenge you for a little bit more. So take your elbow and try to bring your elbow, the same elbow as this hand, down towards your instep. You notice that stretch? Yes, down toward the instep. So what if it doesn't get there? Take this leg and walk it out more, push it out a little bit. Get that leg out of the way so your pelvis can descend down in there between the two. Okay, come back down again, just feel that. Now, if it doesn't touch, don't worry. Just reach that elbow and get that motion toward the floor, okay? You could, if you wanted to, put something there, like a yoga block or something, to help you to get down there. Let's do one more on that side. Down. And then you're gonna stay in the lunge position, just add a rotation right here. So just getting that rotation chest toward the pelvis, and then bring it back. Okay, same thing on the other side. Starting off with just that high kneeling here in that lunge position. Inhale. Notice the side bend stretch feels good. Come back. But notice how it changes as soon as you add that sway of the pelvis. So literally you're pressing the pelvis to one side, right? Letting it swing that way. Inhale and exhale. Lift up, sway over, come back and through. Good, do that again. Over, beautiful. And now maybe even pulse a little bit. Those little mini bounces, always good for the fascial system. And now coming back down into that lunge pattern. So if you remember the lunge pattern in the beginning, I just had you do these kind of back and forth in that extension, just back and forth a little bit, sensing what's happening. What's the quality of the tissue here? Don't collapse into it, but just sense the quality of the tissue and then hinge back. So forward and back. As I said, really simple. You don't have to do much to get motion in there and to feel good. Okay, so get a little bit of mobilization for some of the back of the body on the opposite side. We're really focusing here on that hinging back and forth, getting that functional hinge pattern. Okay, then we're gonna take that elbow on the same side. So just get down there, but notice if the leg is too close, you won't be able to get down. So open that leg and laterally rotate it a little bit, and then take the elbow toward the floor. You can come back up, go toward the floor. So this is kind of encouraging that stretch toward the floor and back. Again, go toward the floor and back. Notice what's happening at the groin area. Down and come back up. Let's do 2 more of those. Pressing down. Notice how I'm not statically staying in one position, just moving through space. And last one, stay down and then rotate toward that back leg. Stay there and take a breath in. Exhale and come back to center. Okay, going now to an exercise on the mat where we place the hands behind us, and then you just have your 2 legs pretty wide, okay? You wanna have your feet wide, in fact, mine are as wide as the mat, and then from there, I'm just gonna let my knee drop and drop. Okay, so you could do this lying supine all the way down flat if you didn't wanna be upright here, okay? But otherwise, you're upright, and you're just doing that knee drop off from side to side, and really reach the knee down toward the mat, that's it. Feel the relationship at your shoulders, right? So as you press the knee down, sort of think of lifting an opposition, a push and a pull concept through that shoulder on the opposite side. Let's just do 2 more like this. And 1 more. Beautiful. Okay. Then from there, we're gonna take it into a hip release. So you can stay in that position and just do the hip release here. This is classic Pilates right here. Inhale to open and lengthen. Exhale, turn in and up. Inhale, open and lengthen. Exhale, turn in and up. 1 more time like that, and then we'll return to go the other way. Inhale. So you're just going in that internal rotation, external to come back. 1 more, and come back. Other side. Inhale, go into that open configuration, and then bring it back through again. So external rotation to internal. Excellent. Open. And now reverse it. Go internal to external. Yes. Looks great. Thanks for all the comments, everybody. and then come back to center. Now from there, I want you to really lift the chest up here so you have good dynamics through the upper body, and then open and close, open and close, open and close. 4 more, 4 and 3, 2 more, 2 and 1. I love all the hearts showing up, all the hearts being. Okay, you guys, the last thing, and you know, it wouldn't be really a great hip it over if we didn't add some leg swings, but I'm going to have you do them lying down so that you don't have to stress your body standing anymore, because we did a lot of that already. So I'm going to get myself a little bit out of the screen with my head, but notice how I'm letting my leg just on the floor slide back and forth. So I'm using the floor. I'm utilizing that floor for stability so I don't have to hold muscularly my leg up in the air. Okay, so I'm just letting that leg swing back and forth. Support your body weight with your forearm here and just stay nice and connected to the upper body. And let's do a couple more like that. And now hold the leg back there. Bring your arm in front of you. Now you're going to add the upper body in that pattern of opposition here. So here we go. Nice and smooth, right? So hips and shoulders a little bit together. Also just working on that coordination factor. One more like this, forward and back. Beautiful. Okay, other side, let's swing right over. Remember, leg swings, any swing patterns at all help to hydrate the body, but also they help to break down adhesions that might occur in some of the tissue. Okay, so if you have a little stiffness there, this might be a good way to mobilize. Keep the upper body stable, nice and supportive, and you just use that floor, okay? Back and forth. Now hold that leg back there and let's bring the arm forward and swing in opposition, okay? Excellent. Forward and back. We're coming to an end soon. Hopefully your midday is a better midday now. Let's do a couple more of these. And one more time. And that's it. Midday Movement Series. Excellent job, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's see. Alicia, nice. Vivian, all right. Proactive Pilates, I can see you there. Easy Pilates, I see you there. Nice, everyone. Listen, I hope that you join me again. And remember, you can always go on to PJO Claire on demand and find lots of different things. Okay, so thanks for coming. Do you feel good? Get up and do that little rotation now, the little hip swing now. How's it feel? Yeah, excellent. Okay, fabulous. All right, nice. Thank you so much, Maureen. Thank you for joining in. I'm so excited. Excellent, Geraldine. Beautiful. Terry, you're here. All right, excellent. Joining in from the beach in Maine. Oh, God, you love the egg beaters. Excellent. All right, really, thanks, Tracy. Always great to hear your feedback. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to go off. I'm going to sign off, but hope to see you soon.